Hello and welcome to another I Explores. Okay, so today we're going to take a look at some more streets in various different parts of Grimsby, so let's go and have a look. Ladysmith Road. I'm just coming out of this alley here because I've just been to the shop behind me. Well, you got to eat when you're doing this. So anyway, I'll cut that bit out. Now I'll leave it in. So let's carry on. So we'll turn the camera around. We've got a big coal store across there. Now, it's not old, so I'm not really going to include that. I think it belongs to Young's now. I know it used to be, I think it was Salverson's back in the day when I was working at Bird's Eye. Okay, so the name I've got for this bread factory is Glenton's Bakery, or the Wonder Bakery, as somebody put, I found out like. But anyway, we'll turn the camera around. It is over there through them trees. It looks like it's going to be developed for something because I saw a for sale sign up there not long ago. But you never know, and it runs quite far back. Right, basically, if I put in the camera there, you can see the buildings that are oddly shaped. The roof, sorry, it's oddly shaped. It goes right to the barracks. It's fairly big. And if I remember rightly, that's how Bird's Eye was before it got knocked down. Some of the buildings I used to work in. Well, I'll explain that shortly. So yeah, let's go across the road. Okay, so just stick the camera through the fence there. As you can see, there's a way in there and it's all been left. We're up there a bit. It's still all intact, the same building. So let's bring the camera back out. You can see up there, that's obviously an entrance of some kind through there. I've just been pointing out, as you can see. Let's move up this way a bit. It's obviously still got quite a bit of original architecture on there. This obviously was the main door, I think. I have got a picture of this and I'm pretty certain that that just there was where the main door was. But yeah, this is the bread factory. Now, I came across the name of a shop that some of you would put on Facebook. It's called Nibbits. Is that how you say it? Nibbits, Nibbits or something. Is that a shop or something? If anybody can tell me in the comments below, that'd be fantastic. I am on Ladysmith Road, so we'll turn the camera back round and I'll go in further up to where the Bird's Eye was, and also a lot more history there, which I'll tell you about as we get nearer to it. So let's go. Okay, so I've now come up to the Bird's Eye site, formerly a fish drying factory, and then obviously the ice skating rink. Now, before all this, the fish drying factory was owned by Smethurst's, who then in 1935 found out you could get to quick frozen fish. Obviously the technology had moved on by then. There was an ice rink put there. Now, the earliest date I've got for the ice rink, I'm going to turn this camera and show you the site. The earliest date I've found was like 1938, because there was an ice hockey team there called the Red Wings, and they went on for 2 years. Obviously the war had started by then. That's probably why they had to stop. But yeah, that's what happened to that. And like I say, after the ice rink, the Bird's Eye was there. Moved the fish from here in 1998 to Hull, and now obviously they had the fire in 2007. Is September 2007, which I've got written down here, very good. And obviously now it's houses, so I'm going to see if I can pop the camera through the fence. So I hope that information is good. And I did work there, so I worked there from 85 to 95, so I was there quite a long time in fish cakes, pastry knockout. Do you remember that one? That was rough, wasn't it? Sawing up fish, using the using the fryer to fry anything. We used to fry roast beef, chicken, the lot. We didn't care. It was great. Free snacks. Oh, you never got caught though. We was too good at it. First started off as a fish drying factory, then a frozen fish factory, so it was very quick. Then an ice rink, and then obviously Bird's Eye, and that burnt down in 2007, and now it's an housing development. So there you go, that's a bit of the history of this part. Okay, I've just come down Grenville Street, and I've obviously found some old cobbles leading to somewhere, and across the road also, which I'm going to go. Obviously it's original because you can see the curbstones down there. So down there, look, there's some more cobbles. Now this, look, this looks like it was something. It's obviously got a piece of wood sticking out of it. Maybe there was a hoist on there at some time. But yeah, that's a strange building to come across. But this is on Grenville Street, so let's carry on. We'll turn the camera around. There's quite a few old houses just in this area here. Loads of them. So, okay, according to what I found, the earliest houses was built in the 1890s. That's pretty early. Now, I would assume it'd be some of these down this way, because they do have some stones in them. Like that one there says Claremont Villa, and that's what they used to do. This one's fairly, I would say, a bit later on. And the one on the end isn't. That's quite early too, but that's a bit later on. That looks a totally different style to the rest around here. Some of them are odd, but I'd maybe say that was what, 20s, 30s, something like that. Art Deco period, 20s onwards. I say up here there's some more. I used to be my doctors across the road there. Anybody remembers the doctors down here? It was Dr. Henderson in there at Claremontville. So anybody used to go there back in the day? There's another one. See, something like I said, some of these buildings down here are well old. I mean, turn this around again, look. There's one here. With pillars on the side of it and that. Obviously, you don't get that nowadays. Well, you can if you want, I suppose, but I mean, these are original things. And if you look around, there's all sorts down here. All sorts of different types. That's Pelham Road down there. I will cover that one in another video at some point. Is that a seal? You see even that one up there? I think that's a sea. I can't make it out. It's Gordon House. Looks like. It's obviously a dentist of some kind now, it says on there, but there's quite a lot of them. The one across there says Ashley on it. So you can see what I mean by them being old. It's probably the builders that built them have left the mark in there. You know, say that we built that. But obviously they're all various flats and businesses now. So let's move on a bit further. I was going to turn the camera off just then, but as you can see, you move along. Now this one's called Littlefield House. And then there's another, this is Eyethorn on it. Eyethorn on it. And then there's one here, another one. There's quite a lot, isn't there? Amazing what you don't realise you're seeing when you come past in your cars or your bus or your bike. I'm one of them. I must say, before I started doing this, I didn't find out half the things, so let's carry on. Okay, that one over there, that blue one, that says Burlington House on it. So you can see there was either maybe families or the people that build them, but I think it's going to be some families. You know, like you see these on the telly. You know, these Victorian thingy dramas and that, but there's quite a lot of them. What's this one say? Arrington Villa. So you can see, these obviously either rich people that have put their own names on them. Obviously around back then the fishing industry was absolutely huge. But everything was then, wasn't it? Wood, timber, coal. There's all sorts of things brought into Grimsby Port. Lots of things. So anyway, so I'm coming up to this, what they call a yard. And it says it's the coach yard. Now this has got to be old. So I turn it round. I'm putting the camera upwards here. You can see the words in wrought iron. You can see it up there. The coach yard. That's obviously coaches in horse and carts, I'm assuming. But yeah, look at that. It's still there, the coach yard. Okay, let's carry on a bit. Okay, so I'm now walking down Aycroft Avenue. I know we keep going off on some of these streets, but you know, as I'm walking past, I'm remembering things. And this is Lincoln Boulevard, which is down there, but we're on Aycroft Avenue. Now I've come down here because of this. The underpass which goes under the railway. Obviously that was in 1848, because that's when the first railways were built. So let's go and have a look. I haven't been down here in a long time. I don't need to go this far because I'm not exactly going this way filming, but yeah, let's go. Like I say, this has been here a long time, 1848, because the fact is town station is just through there, and you've got the level crossing at Littlefield Lane, not far from where I'm stood now. So let's go under this. Obviously it's been drawn on, graffitied, but in good taste. So yeah, let's go under it. I like the noise. It echoes. But yeah, and then it carries on up there and comes out probably on Lord Street or somewhere, I don't know what street. But Lord Street is that way anyway, so you probably can get everywhere. But you're now on the other side of the railway tracks, which are up there. Well, this is really good. Now a little bit more walking up, see if there's anything of interest. I don't think there is, but yeah, it's been here a long time. You can see how deep it is. I mean, if I go and walk up the top of this hill here, you can see how quite steep it is. I'll turn the camera around, it's looking behind me now, But I'll turn it round properly so you can see how steep this really is and how far they've actually dug under. So we'll go to the top and I'll turn this around. There we go. You can see, straight down there. Okay, so let's carry on and do a bit more of Cromwell Road. Okay, so I've come back to the other side of the bridge now. So I'm going to quickly walk up here. As you can see, there's the railway tracks there. Now I come through here, some of this old fencing is still here, original. But obviously it runs that way, say Littlefield Lane level crossings up there. That way Manchester and everywhere else you want to go. Well, there you go, and there's that tunnel I've just been under down there. Okay, let's go. Cromwell Road, and I've come up to a very tight passage. You don't see these very often, but look how close together these was built. Back in the 1890s, obviously it's a burger place that next, so as you can see, a big chimney there. So all the way along here is shops, and I'm going to show you where a few of them was. I've got the names written down here. These is obviously here. There have been various things obviously in the past and in the present, as you can see. A lot of takeaways, and obviously now there's a garage up there and everything else. There's houses on the other side, but I think this side was earlier than they were because it's near enough that way further up, and some of this on the West Marsh was built in 1882, and these obviously later. It's obviously started down towards that way, West Marsh first, and then gradually came this way, and obviously goes as far as what Bradley Possodes and Scaffer and that now, and obviously still expanding all the time. So let's carry on. Okay, so now I'm walking up to the Market Hotel, which is in front of me there, across the road, which is now Tesco's. I'll tell you a bit about that in a minute. But the things we've come to look at on this side of this shop row here. Now, I've seen a photo, and I don't know what they were called originally. Anyway, we've got Newman's, we've got Cromwell Pet Stores, we've obviously got Burkitt's is still there, and Franklin's Caff. Now, Franklin's Caff is the one with the light green, call that, I don't know what you call that colour, but yeah, someone will tell me in the comments. So that was there. I think this Newman's was about here somewhere, and the pet store somewhere around there. So yeah, these have been here quite a long time. Obviously Burkitt's, that is still there. As you can see, it's been around a long time, that place. Really are, still one of the best ones in town, if you ask me. But people will disagree, obviously, which I don't blame you. But yeah, there we go, Market Hotel. Obviously Hewitt's Brewery supplied it and built it as well, they did. And obviously now it's, as you can see, a Tesco's Express key, if you want. But there we go, so we're going to go a bit further down and I'll explain a few other things that's down here. There's quite a lot of things going on down this area. Okay, so the Market Hotel opened its doors in the 1930s, approximately 1930s, I don't know the exact date. Then it was left for a long time, and in 2015 became what it is today, as you can see. But it was there in the 80s. I remember when I was like 21, I went in there after a pint, after many ice skating session on a Saturday. Really good. So, the next bit in this area here used to be a cattle market. Now, I haven't got anything dates on there, but I would imagine that was been here quite early. I mean, you could even say the early 18th century or even previous. It could be even medieval, I don't know. But it was in this area here, obviously long gone, now with housing and everything else. So now I'm going to walk up to show you where the Turner's Abattoir site was. So let's move on a bit. Okay, so we're walking up to the site where Turner's Abattoir was. And when I get this right, I'll turn the camera around. Okay, so it's where these houses are now, it's in here. It was quite big. It actually did run from the end of that house there right the way along to that blue fence. And they had this silly idea of putting cows like you would in a field, yeah, no electric fence, just wood. They got out, didn't they? Ran up and down here. I remember it in the 80s, it's so funny. Nuts, why do that? But then again, that's how it works. Obviously around here has now been totally developed since then, and I know it was here in the early 80s because the leisure centre over there, you see the sign for, that was there. The auditorium wasn't, by the way, and that extension they put on there wasn't back then. The ice skating rink in there was a major attraction, plus the waves. Now, was the first swimming pool we had here that had waves. Obviously there was Scaffer baths, and then later on the Cleethorpes Leisure Centre came along and it's got waves in it. But yeah, so that's where that was, in this big area here. And the trees at the back, that's how far it stretched. So yeah, it was quite a big place. Like we're saying, there's the auditorium, that's not been here that long. But the leisure centre has been in the late 70s. It was built that. And like I said, the big major attraction in there was the ice rink, and then the waves at the pool later on. But yeah, it's still there, and they've extended it. It comes out on there somewhere, but yeah, that's that. And all the rest of this over here was just fields, basically, not a lot there. A bit like this. And at the time, through the 80s, you could walk. So I think you could walk all the way back up to where the trawl is, from coming out of ice skating and walk across the fields. But now it's it's a golf driving range up there, up that way now. I believe that's what that is. So anyway, let's go a bit further and have a look at something else. Okay, so I'm now walking down Boulevard Avenue. Now, I did a video not long back called Lost Railways. Now, it came from over that way and came out here on Macaulay Street, then headed off straight down there towards the Pyewipe Industrial Estate, going over the River Avon, Corporation Road and onto Armstrong Street, etc., and following on. Now, a video I've just done not long ago on streets again, I know you all like that, Watkins Street. Now, it said it was built in 1848 on the West Marsh, so that means there's a 34-year gap somewhere. But that little bit of housing, the terraced houses if you like, is further down that way from where I'm stood, which the railway came down here. Now, was that here then, or had it already gone? Like I said, there's a 34-year gap somewhere. So hopefully, when you can find that out, that'd be great, because I've been looking for a long time. But I know it was there, and what they was going to do, where these houses are here, was actually going to put sidings on. Well, the thing is, that's something else. I've seen an actual map with it on, and I can't remember where I saw it, but I have actually seen it. It's here marked on it. So you got the railway track running down here, just a single one, and like I said, to that way of me, they was going to put the sidings. Now, whether or not there was there, that's I honestly can't say, but it is marked on a map. Or was it marked on a map just for development later on and never happened? Anyway, so let's carry on. That's what I'll tell you that bit. Okay, let's go. Okay, so just come across the River Avon there. Now, on this corner here where these houses are, there was a church. Church of the Lost Shepherd, I think its name was. If I've got that wrong, somebody can tell me in the comments. So now, yes, we've been around this area before, I know that. But I've come to show you some shops which I totally missed off on one of my street videos. I apologise for that. I think it was the West Marsh one I did, because that's where I am, obviously. Now, coming up, there's a sign up there, which you don't often see nowadays. I'll point the camera at it. It says off licence on it. I'm going to get closer. And also across the road there, that used to be Crosses. I remember going in there as a kid. It was a shop that used to sell all sorts of things. I can't exactly remember what. I think it used to go up there for sweets more than likely. Yeah, but that's what that was. But as you can see, I've got to come up to this because I think this is really good. An offie, look. An old offie one. Well, you don't get them very long now, do you? Your supermarkets and get it. But yeah, they've got wine shops, aren't there? But there's Crosses again across the road there. So let's go around the corner. Oh, look at that for an advert, look. W.M. Youngers. The kegs, remember that? God, that's advert still there. And again, another off-licence advert. This is on Corporation Road. Brilliant. Okay, so this shop here, well, you used to come for your tellies and probably rent them as well. If you remember Rumbelows, well, that's where that was, in there. In that building. Obviously, it's something else now, as you can see the sign. But yeah, Rumbelows is in there. So you used to see tellies in the window. You used to walk past here. And there's a lot of shops on this side as well. You had Durkin's. Anybody remember that one? I used to go in there. I remember going in there buying a gun holster, thinking I was a cowboy. Well, I was only a kid. But yeah, Durkin's was down here. And like I said, that one behind me there, that was Rumbelows. And another shop called Durkin's. I think they're a bit further around the corner here where some of the shops still exist. Now, you do get the odd corner shop that is still existing, like over there, it says the Boulevard Cafe. Now, I think that was a fish and chip shop. I can't remember. If anybody can tell me that, that'd be great. That's going down towards the West Marsh Community Centre, or Armstrong Street School if you want. I'm not really sure without looking at a picture, but I know there's lots of shops down here, and further around that corner there is. And I think Durkin's was situated on one of them shops round there. But like I say, if anybody can tell me in the comments that's from down here, that'd be really helpful, because then I can come back and film it properly in the right place. But it definitely seems like, it is round there. So let's carry on talking about Armstrong Street School. There it is. Down Beeston Street there. Well, Beeston Street, Armstrong Street. Well, everybody knows that it's Armstrong Street School, so let's move on. Okay, so we've now come a bit down Corporation Road. Now, like I was saying, I think Durkin's is one of these shops here. Like I say, if any of you can tell me, put them in the comments, it would be helpful. But as you can see, you look up and they look old anyway, and obviously that's where the Rex was, which I mentioned on many a video now. But yeah, one of these has to be it. I mean, you just don't know. I mean, some of these are not houses now, to change the fronts of them, but I can't find a picture to like locate it. I mean, there's more down here. I mean, this was like full of houses all the way past the West Marsh Club there, as you can see in the distance. But there's houses all the way up there. Obviously, the tram terminal was up there and it ran up and down here, which I've done in a previous video. But finding these locations is hard. I know on this side of the road, further up, used to be a fish and chip shop and a few other shops up there. That's up near the lights where the Asda is now. There's a lot of shops just there. I think there was a Netto there as well not long ago, and it went. And obviously Asda's took it over. Well, that's now an Asda. Yeah. But yeah, there's lots of things went on down here. I mean, this place is full of housing all the way up and down here, both sides of the road. Absolutely full. But yeah, that's what I need to find out. I mean, if you look at some of these shops over the road there, that blue one, for instance, that's old. And obviously still there. So as you can see, there's a lot of things that are still here, but you just can't find the locations of some. But as I say, if anybody can tell me these things, it'd be brilliant. Right, okay, let's carry on, I'll shut up. Okay, so we'll come to the end of another video. I hope you enjoyed this one. I've had to come and back on some locations I've done in the past just to let you know a bit more information. So, and I'd like to thank all my people watching my content. A lot of them that are recently subscribed, welcome to the channel. I know there's more people going to join my channel very soon. So, thank you for watching. See you next time on the next video.